Welcome to Fashion Voices, a new show that brings together the hearts and minds of the industry's greats for an unfiltered discussion of a different topic each week.
There could be something really interesting in like how wrong artificial intelligence could get certain cuts or certain ideas.
If it feels comfortable, then chances are it's out there.
This week, we're here to discuss how fashion is transforming and how it continues to do so.
So you aim the phone down at your feet and you can kind of walk around and see exactly how the shoes look.
They did this like amazing Animal Crossing fashion show. It was very chic, very fun, and little Animal Crossing figures look great in clothes.
In 2020, the world and fashion changed forever. The question is, what does fashion look like in 2021 and beyond? Joining me this week, we have three amazing guests. We have the actor and playwright, Jeremy O. Harris. We have the co-founder of Opening Ceremony, Carol Lim.
Hi.
And we have GQ style director, Theo van den Broeke.
Hi.
Okay, so I just want to talk a bit about digital futures. Things like augmented reality are gaining traction in the fashion industry. What are your thoughts on that?
When I think about AR and what it can do for fashion, I'm looking at people like Ouroboros, right? Who are, they're at Saraband right now, which is the foundation, the McQueen Foundation. And there are these two women who are looking at the ways in which like filters could be like a new wave of fashion accessory. Like if you can like design like an outfit digitally so that when someone takes a photograph of it, it has all of these like things, but like what you see IRL is like a very simple, elegant dress, you know? I love the idea of like what Nicolas Gasquier did when he like designed all those costumes in a video game, right? And like, put Louis Vuitton like in the middle of like the war. I think it was the War of Legends or the
League of Legends.
And then I think about people like Miles Gertler, and he's a part of like a Canadian architecture firm called Common Accounts, and they designed an entire AR mall that was like a complete digital space for like a new generation without like making it like an architectural necessity in the middle of a city. So I'm excited about how we could use a digital landscape and AR to create a lot of new experiences that can like both elevate fashion, but also reimagine how fashion can function for our psyche.
Theo, have you been AR shopping?
I have actually. Luckily enough, we all love Gucci, and what they're doing there is just extraordinary. But the AR side of the app that they have is definitely the best I've tried. You can kind of try on every single pair of the sneakers, so you kind of aim the phone down at your feet and immediately it will kind of pick up whichever color profile you are and what size and everything, and you can kind of walk around and see exactly how the shoes look. And it's amazing. It's kind of encouraged me to buy a pair of the Off the Grid sneakers. So it actually worked on someone who works in this industry and is incredibly cynical.
What's your thoughts on like little Michaela?
Yeah, my friend programmed her.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
She's a fan of slave play.
She's got good taste.
Little Michaela's a fan. She was gonna bring some people one night.
How does that work?
She came to see the show. We started DMing, and then we were trying to figure out another time for her to come, but our schedules didn't match up, unfortunately.
Surely there's always a seat for a digital entity. This is
I
blowing
think
my mind.
Like, she has a posse. She has an entourage.
Wow.
We've done some shoots with her too. She's been very supportive of a lot of the brands that we carried and of the Opening Ceremony brands. So she's really great to work with.
I feel like a fossil again. So I just wanted to talk about the all digital shoot, the idea that there's in a way no wastage, there's no travel for clothes, etc., but that also the possibilities are unlimited because they're created in a machine. Is this a good thing? Carol?
I definitely think it's a good thing. I think it's another tool to use. I think the key will be how you create that emotional connection. But I absolutely think it's an amazing resource to have, to be able to create that narrative however you want. And yeah, I mean, I think on the climate and sustainability front, you know, it's pretty incredible. And really the only limit you have is your imagination.
Would you let artificial intelligence design a dress for you?
We've seen it happen. There are brands out there and companies out there that take the data. They look at past behavior, what you've bought, things you've clicked on, but they don't serve to you necessarily the things that you don't even know you want yet. If it feels comfortable, like when we create and when you design and you're like, oh yeah, then chances are it's out there, right? You've seen it, you may have passed it, you're researching, you're consuming. If it feels uncomfortable and maybe slightly ugly at first, where you're like, oh, like, is that shape, is that like flattering? And do we feel a little bit nervous? You're in the right space when you operate there, because chances are you haven't seen it. People don't know they want to wear it yet. So let's put it in.
Yeah, I love that idea that like something that doesn't look quite right means it's fresh in a way.
I mean,
Yeah.
but I think that not quite rightness is probably why I would 100% be excited to see a line by an algorithm. I'd probably like more of it than like a lot of designers that like are profiled a lot, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think that there could be something really interesting in like how wrong artificial intelligence could get certain cuts or certain ideas. Society is still going to be inside of the algorithm because like human beings are making it. And so it will most likely reify some of the violences that we see there. Will there maybe fewer potentially? Like, I think I'm really interested in like that, like crack of potential of like what might be inside of the like hemline of like a computer design dress that might be less offensive than the like one that my like male brain makes for, you know, a 14-year-old girl to wear.
Well, I think that's the making of a good show, right? So let's design for Jeremy O'Harris an algorithm collection, or let's pick said designer knowing what they know about you, and let's see who wins the prize.
Oh, I would watch that.
Love
That's
that.
really
Right?
I would definitely watch that.
Right?
So it has been reported during the pandemic that people are shopping more sustainably, more sensibly. Do you think that these kind of new habits that we have will continue?
I think there's a bit of a dichotomy here. It's certainly the desire for frivolous, fast fashion as we knew it before will have diminished when people have less money, when there's more unemployment, but also when we kind of have an opportunity to step back and look at our spending habits and what we actually use and what we actually wear.
What do you think we'll be buying like next year as a result of these new habits?
I mean, I know that I've been called a trend forecaster before, but I genuinely don't know. I mean, I think that like this moment is making people look more deeply at people like Telfar Clemens, right? The one thing I saw consistently, friends from my community like reaching towards buying were the $75 like tiny Telfar tote. Something that's like luxury, but not $7,500, but just $75.
The thing to me when you see Telfar is, you know, when brands and designers develop, you know, product like this, it's really the community, right? He has a loyal community and a group of creative people he inspires that show up for the brand, right? And that doesn't go away necessarily when we have a pandemic and people choose where to spend that money. And I think that's what's going to differentiate how brands can survive.
So I actually wanted to talk about Fashion Week because brands, big and small, have had to adapt this way that they are storytelling and communicating. Just wondering what your experiences of those have been.
It was brands that engaged with the medium in a way that felt fresh rather than using it as a kind of platform just to show a normal kind of fashion show. But then there were designers like Alawalia, Bethany Williams, Christopher Rayburn, who created new products, new clothes, new luxury items out of recycled dead stock or old clothes that they had. And obviously certain big brands have done that too with Virgil Vuitton. And I think creating something that's sustainable and beautiful and desirable from something that existed before is kind of the ultimate in new luxury.
Watching Martine Sims's video for Prada like shook me to my core. Like it felt like I was watching something like that belonged not only in a museum but in a cinema, and like something I wanted to revisit over and over and over again in the way that one revisits Prada pieces from like the 90s over and over and over again.
So for the first time, fashion and gaming are really in bed together. We've got like Gucci and Burberry working in that space digitally. Are any of you gamers? Have you fashion gamed?
I'm a gamer, Gaymer.
That's the only way to spell it.
So I rediscovered my love of Sid Meier's Civilization and The Sims over break. because I have a God complex.
Sims is fashiony, isn't it? Don't they?
Yes, in The Sims, you can get really quite addicted to like the sartorial choices of your Sims. And so you can buy different skins. I think Jeremy Scott designed like an entire closet, like a Machino closet that you could buy for your Sims. I also did want to shout out the one Animal Crossing thing I interacted with this year, which was Cara Chung and Mark Gehring's fashion show. Did you guys see it? They did this like amazing Animal Crossing fashion show. Like Michel Gobert did like the music for it. It was very chic, very fun, and little Animal Crossing figures look great in clothes.
Great. I mean, that's maybe this is the new paradigm shift. Animal Crossing is the look.
Imagine instead of going to the airport and taking a flight to Milan, you went to like, you know, the Prada Island and like saw their fashion show, and like, I think only 11 people can go to an island at a time. So like an 11-person like spurts, you could do that over like 2 weeks and just like watch their Animal Crossing people walk around in clothes. That would be so fun.
It kind of feels like the fashion brands are in the same space that I am a little bit, because I played that the Burberry Bounce and what was it? I think Gucci B did one, and it was and it kind of feels like they're on the cusp of figuring out how to do it, and it's kind of like tentatively stepping their toe into the waters of it. And actually, it's been more successful when you talk about something like Louis Vuitton engaging with League of Legends and creating these skins that people can buy, and you become part of a world that already exists. I think as a brand, creating your own gaming world at the moment is quite a challenging thing to do. And it's like anything. It's like they want to use influencers on social media. They probably want to use games that already exist to kind of get into that world. And I think we'll see a lot of development in the next couple of years in that realm.
Yeah. Prada Tetris is what you're suggesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Guys, we've come to the end of our discussion. It's been really interesting, and I am going to go on Animal Crossing, like now, right this minute.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching. If you like what you've seen and you want to hear more from Fashion Voices, subscribe to the YouTube channel now.